What's good guys, Zennosh here, and today in this video of Lord of Heroes, I'm here to present you guys the list of top 10 hero units in this game. Alright, let's get this started without wasting any further time. The first candidate is going to be Schneider. This guy is super duper cool and you can just get him for 3000 crystals, which I really don't think is really that hard, okay? So anyways, let's get this started. His basic attack can actually target a single enemy, and then like he has a very good chance to remove one of the most recent buff applied to the enemy, and can be really helpful especially in the battle against the boss units where boss is really applying some really weird buff on himself, like let's say attack boost, defense boost, or maybe health regen even, okay? And in that case, being able to remove the buff is really helpful, guys. His active skill can do a AoE attack, attacks all enemies. That can be really helpful in having a speed clearance, especially in the PvE contents. All right, and even in the PvP contents, he can really be helpful in the cleave teams, and he has like 100% chance to reduce the action gauge of the opponents by 15%. That can be very helpful in pushing the opponents really backwards and being and allowing all your teammates to go before the opponents, and that can really provide a very amazing advantage to your entire team. Okay, so there we go, guys. And finally, his ultimate skill, he can attack the selected enemy, and on top of that one, he can fill his own action gauge by 100%, meaning like he will be gaining the extra turn right off the bat when he is using his ultimate skill, and that can be really helpful, guys, being able to improve his DPS output right off the bat. And on top of that one, his passive skill is out there to improve his damage output even further, okay? And guess what, guys, he will be dealing even more massive damage to the earth elemental enemies out there. So there we go, guys. That's the Schneider right over there. And the next hero unit that I would really love to attract your attention to is gonna be the Krom. This guy is super duper amazing, guys, and you can get him through the contract as well. And this guy with his basic attack can attack a single target, and he improves his damage based on his attack speed. Higher the attack speed he has, the more damage is going to deal. Definitely his basic attack stat is also going to be considered in the math, in the equation, but with the higher speed, he's definitely going to improve his damage output, and that is one particular advantage right over there. And even his passive skill is out there to boost his speed, okay? And that is so cool out there, meaning like he has a really good chance to start the turn whenever any kind of battle happens, especially in the PvP battles. Being able to have the first turn is very valuable for him, even for the entire team. Why? Because of his active skill known as the combat readiness. With this active skill, he actually fills all allies action gauge by 45%. That is humongous. And being able to place all of your allies even before the opponents in terms of action turn, your team can really deal some heavy damage to the opponents right away, even before the opponents can actually have that chance, that opportunity to actually counterattack, or like to counter back, or to come up with any kind of their action like action turns, okay? And with that thing, definitely you will have a very unfair advantage in the PvP battles, and this is the reason why he's very revered in the PvP battles, or let's say in the Coliseum. Grants them a health regeneration buff that lasts for one turn as well. So especially if your team is very struggling with low HP, then in that case definitely this is gonna be a lifesaver as well. So definitely a very good hero unit with this amazing skill right over here, guys, okay? And with his ultimate skill known as the dimensional cleave, he can attack all enemies. Definitely guys, is a must-have hero unit when you are trying to form a cleaving team, okay? Cleaving team are those kind of teams that have a lot of AoE damages, and they can really take care of the opponents with just one single fell swoop, okay? Maybe two hero units with cleaver types are definitely going to take care of all the opponents in just one single swoop if they are properly buffed up, okay? So that's it, guys. And with all these kind of things going on, guys, this guy is really good support unit out there, guys. All right, so anyways, let's move on to the next unit. That's gonna be the Krom. This guy is a beast, okay? Magnificent creature indeed. His basic attack can deal the damage to a selected enemy, and he has a very good chance to inflict the wither debuff that actually prevents the opponent from healing, and that can be really helpful in certain situations where, let's say for example, a unit is really becoming a very troublesome unit because of the healing stuff, okay? And you can just prevent that healing and making that opponent like not really that sustainable anymore, to lower down their endurance, okay, and that can be really helpful, guys, okay. And he has a 20% chance to ignore the enemy defense as well. With that, he can really deal some amazing damage to the opponents, because in this game ignore defense is quite really revered. It's very celebrated stuff in this game, okay. So the next thing is gonna be his active skill, increases the user's attack power. That's really cool. Critical hit rate, amazing, and critical hit damage as well. Come on, man. In any kind of RPG game out there, these are the 3 basic stats that you would definitely want to improve for a DPS type hero unit, and this guy is going to provide it to himself right off the bat. That is so cool. Not only just for 1 turn or 2 turns, but a total of 3 freaking turns. All you need to do is just, like, improve this skill, okay? Just level up the skill. And for 3 turns, that's insane. That is really insane, guys. Immediately grants the user an extra turn as well. What the hell? Oh, man, just think about it. He is really improving his firepower, and with his first active skill, he can even ignore the defense of the opponents with a very decent chance. That is humongous, and more than 1 extra turn cannot be gained in a row, so no problem with that. Anyways, let's look at his burst, or let's say his ultimate skill. And that's the dimensional cleave. Attacks all enemies. That's an AoE attack. Definitely a must-have hero unit, especially for the PvP contents. Gains an extra turn if an enemy dies. Wow, think about it, man. Like, let's say he's in the PvP cleaving team, and he actually cleaves, and if he manages to kill a certain target, he's going to gain the attack, he's going to gain the turn again, and he can easily finish out that opponent who is out there struggling for extra health, okay, who is struggling there with their like a very small amount of HP, and in that case he just can go and finish the battle off with a swag. So this guy is insane, okay. And on top of that one, being able to improve his firepower greatly because of his attack power, critical hit rate, and critical hit damage boost. Oh my god, this is one of the insane skill out there in the entire RPG genre of any kind of mobile gaming platform, okay. So this is wow, this is really super duper cool, guys. And with his his passive skills, he can improve his attack power as well, and that is so cool, man. That is so cool. I just really like it, man. And now let's move on to the next unit. That's gonna be Fire Lairei. Definitely, you know that you can get her from the contract, same like Fire Krom. Okay, Fire Krom can also be got from the contract as well. And let's look into the Fire Lairei. Why she is one of the best choice out there when you are going to start a contract for the first time in this game. Let's look into her first active skill, or let's say the basic attack. A Dragon's Fang, it says, attacks the selected enemy, and she has a very good chance to reduce their defense by 1 turn. Being able to reduce the defense of the opponent can really open the door to massive damage output to the opponents, and you cannot really deny that one, especially the fight against the boss units, okay. So in that case, man, she can be really lethal to them. And with her active skill, Flame Volley, she can attack all the enemies, and she has a very good chance to reduce their resistance by 1 turn, and that is super duper cool, guys. The best thing is that her ultimate skill, Raising Firestorm, right over here, guys, an area attack which has a really good chance to reduce the action gauge of the opponents by 20%. I have already stressed out a lot before that why being able to manipulate the action gauge of your allies, or let's say of your opponent, is very crucial, especially in the PvP contents. Being able to go first then compared to your opponent is very vital indeed, in order to put that pressure on the opponents, and being able to cast all of your skills right off the bat even before the opponents can have the chance to use their first active, like any kind of skills, is definitely a very advantageous situation. All right, and this girl really does provide that with a very amazing damage output. Just think about it, man. She has a really great utility that is designed for the PvP contents, and also being able to become a very crucial part of the cleaving team. Oh my god, you would definitely want to have her in your team. And with her first skill, or let's say this basic attack, definitely she is also a very vital hero unit that you would really need in the boss battles. So that is that, guys. All right, and with the passive skill, she increases her own attack power by 5%. You can actually improve the amount of the attack power by improving this skill as well, so no problem at there. So she is definitely one amazing hero unit that you would definitely want to have in your arsenal, okay. So there we go, guys, no problem at all. And now let's move on to the next hero unit. That is going to be this Guy, this dude is freaking amazing. I would say, man, he's out of the another universe. Okay, this guy is a beast. This Earth Aslan. Let's look into his basic attack. He attacks the selected enemy and he has a very good chance to reduce the attack power for one turn. Being able to reduce the attack power of a certain unit that might actually poses a very big trouble to your team because he is just good at dealing damage, like let's say fire Krom or let's say fire Lairei. Okay, if you can decrease the attack of that particular opponent, definitely you are improving the sustenance of your team, and that's pretty cool right over there. And with his active skill, he fills all allies action gauge by 40%, man. And he actually has a very decent way to feel the burst gauge, and that is so cool, man. 390 points and plus 20% and plus 30% thanks to the skill upgrades right over here. Oh my god, this skill is insane. And guess what, guys, the more insane thing is that he increases all allies attack power for 2 turns. It's a little bit even better than water Krom. Why? Because he is really improving their chance to end the fight in the PvP battle in just one go. Okay, he's just making that sure. With that action gauge reveal, he is making sure that all our allies are going to go first. And with that attack power boost, oh my god, he's just trying to make sure that the opponent will not have any chance to retaliate. They will not have any chance to receive even a single turn to hurt you guys in return. Okay, they will not get their turn at all. And this is Aslan for you guys. Oh my god. If I were to have Aslan, I would be like a very lucky dude in this game, man. But the thing is that like he's a pay to win character. You have to pay in order to get him. So that is the problem right over there, guys. Okay, I mean, you really need to pay with real cash, not just the crystals. Okay, how about his ultimate skill right over here? It's known as the Mountain Crusher, and he attacks the selected enemy and ignores the defense. Oh my god, just think about it, like how much damage he can really deal. Wow. On command, he can actually annihilate a single target. Well, boss battles may be an exception, but when it comes to PvP contests, man, you can really take care of a certain hero unit that can be a really big problem, especially those tanky units, okay? So that is really cool out there. That's what I really like. And the next thing is gonna be his passive skill that increases the attack power by a great amount, and that's really cool. And he can even improve his damage against the water elemental enemies by up to a very high percentage, okay? And that's the Earth Aslan for you guys. He can improve your firepower very greatly, and he's a very great support out there, packing a very great amount of damage within himself, and that's so deadly combination right over there. And the next hero unit is gonna be the Water Lumie. This girl is a really amazing damage dealer as well. Let's look into her like the basic attack. Frost Strike, it says, attacks the selected enemy, and she has a very high chance to increase the user speed for one turn. I mean like her own speed, and that means like she will be able to get her, or let's gain her another turn really fast, okay? So that's quite cool. Just with the basic attack being able to improve her speed stat is really cool, I like that. And with her active skill known as the Icicle Dance, she can attack all the enemies, and she has a really great chance to reduce the action gauge by 20%. Well, that's that, guys. And it's not even an ultimate skill, meaning like she really doesn't have to wait for it. She can actually cast the skill right off the bat, and being able to reduce the action gauge of the opponents is really helpful, especially in the PvP contents, where you would definitely have that advantage to go before the opponents and being able to deal some amazing damage to the opponents even before they can get their turn. So that is really cool, guys. Okay, it really improves your DPS capacity against the opponents very effectively. And the next thing is gonna be this burst skill, or let's say the ultimate skill known as the Glacial Rush. She attacks all enemies, a very good AoE skill right up there, a very perfect candidate for the AoE cleaving team. She has a 100% chance to reduce their action gauge by 20%, and she has the 80% chance to inflict sleep for one turn as well. Just think about it, man. Wow, she is really out there to reduce the action gaze of the opponents, and she is really meant for PvP battles. Really, really, really meant for PvP battle. With that AoE attack, definitely she is a very good candidate even for the PvE cons, being able to clear that mobs really, really fast. But thanks to that action gaze reduction and being able to inflict that sleep on the opponents, man, you need to admit that this girl is really meant for PvP contents, okay? And being able to boost her own health, definitely she is out there to improve her sustenance and endurance. Water Lumie, very amazing unit indeed. I would really love to have her in my team. And the next unit is gonna be the Earth 9, okay, this green 9 right over here, which you need to actually pay in order to get her, okay? Man, that's kind of a little bit irritating right over here, guys. Okay, most of the amazing hero units out there in this game are pay to win. I mean, like, you need to pay real hard cash in order to get them. What the hell? Okay, so first skill, or let's say her basic attack, is known as the Nimble Slasher. Attacks the selected enemy, grants all allies a leech buff for 1 turn that restores health in proportion to the damage dealt. Oh my god, it's just a basic attack. Just think about it. She has a really good skill effect that is not only applicable to her, but even for all the allies. Wow, this really does improve the sustenance of your entire team. That is so cool, especially in the PvE contents. That is freaking damn amazing, guys. Really, really amazing. I really love this one, guys. If you are really looking out forward for a very long fight, especially in the boss fights, this Nimble Slash is definitely going to help you guys for a very long period of time, okay? And definitely in the fight against the boss battles. Her active skill, known as the Shadowy Banishment, it says attacks all enemies, AoE attack right over there. 100% chance to reduce their action gaze by 20%. Wow, man. And guess what, guys? If you improve the skills, she will be able to reduce the action gaze by up to 30% as well. Now, that is really super duper high. Super duper high. 30% action gaze reduction is really a lot. Really a lot. And she has a 1% chance. Wow, that's a lot. Man, that's a lot. 20% chance to increase the user's action gaze as well. So in return, she also improving her action gaze as well with a certain good chance right over there. So with that thing going on, guys, she is definitely a must-have unit out there as a like utility unit. Okay, a utility unit. And the next thing is gonna be her ultimate attack. Wow. Her active skill is also going to deal that AoE attack, and even with her ultimate skill, she is going to deal that AoE attack as well. Definitely a very good candidate for the AoE cleaving team, okay? So what she's going to make available is that she's going to deal an AoE attack to all enemies, increases the user's attack power. Definitely that's going to allow her to deal even more damage. And guess what, guys? She's going to generate a shield for the user based on the attack power that lasts for 1 turn. So additional way to improve her own sustenance, okay? So that is quite cool, being able to provide that leech buff and being able to provide that shield effect. Definitely she's out there to endure a long fight. Definitely I would say if you have this unit, you are going to have a very easy time in battling against the boss units out there. So that is it, guys, okay? And she's even going to improve the damage against the water elemental enemies as well, and that's quite cool out there. I just really like it. And she's also going to improve her critical hit rate as well. Wow, she's really out there to deal some amazing damage. On top of that one, improving the sustenance as well. Wow, what a well-built, balanced unit out there, guys. And 9 is a paid character, so well, that's kind of a little bit sad to say, isn't it? Pretty pay to win character right over there, guys. Anyways, let's move on to the next unit. That's gonna be Water Vanessa. Okay, this girl is super cool, I would say, and you can get her for 6,000 crystals. A little bit expensive though, but not really that hard to achieve, okay? That's what I would say. Let's cut out to the main point. She's out here. She's one of the best unit out there. She's one of the best healer out there. Why? Because she can revive allies. Not just one ally, all the dead allies. Think about it. Think about it. And it has only like 3 spirit cost if you just, skill her up really nicely. Oh my god. And heals them in proportion to the user's defense. So higher the defense she has, she's going to heal them even more. That is cool, man. That's really cool. Revive skill is not something that actually usually pops up in this game. It's quite a rare skill indeed, and Water Vanessa has it. So if you really want to improve the sustenance of your entire team, Water Vanessa is a must-have unit, man. Just think about it. Okay, let's look into her Basic attack, Melody of Passion, it says, attacks the selected target, heals the user in proportion to the damage dealt. Man, she's going to improve her own healing capacity, okay? So, I mean, like, she's going to heal herself with the basic attack, and that allows her to improve her sustenance. And with her active skill, Melody of Salvation, she's going to heal all the allies in proportion to the user's attack power, meaning more the attack power she has, the more healing she is going to deal to everyone. And she's going to grant all the allies a leech buff for 2 freaking turns. If you can improve this skill for 3 freaking turns, that restores the health in proportion to the damage dealt. Oh, wow, that's really cool, man. She's not only just healing the allies, but she is also improving the chance for the sustenance of the team thanks to that leech buff. And if somehow someone managed to die, she's going to revive them. Not just even one unit, every one of them, and that makes her too OP, man. Just think about it. These are the skills that you are not definitely going to find that easily in this game. She is really damn amazing, guys. And well, with the passive skills, she's going to improve her damage against the opponents, and she is going to receive less damage from the earth elemental enemies. Okay, so that is quite cool right out there, guys. That's the water Vanessa for you. All right, if you really are very willing to switch on to a very good healer out there, if you can spend some really good amount of crystal, that is just 6,000 crystal, get her right away, guys. Okay, and now let's move on to the next unit. That's gonna be Fire Alev. This girl is out there to deal some amazing damage to the opponents. Guess what, guys? Let's look into her basic attack right over here. Attacks the selected target, gains an extra turn if an enemy dies. Wow, she really does remind me of so many units out there in other RPG gacha games, which are the most sought out unit out there, because this type of characters really makes the farming very, very easy, guys. Okay, so there we go, guys. Man, just think about it, man. Being able to get that extra turn and being able to boast really high firepower damage. Wow, she's really out there to annihilate the opponents. Okay, more than 1 extra turn cannot be gained in a row, so well, she is pretty much gonna be limited to 2 turns, even though if she manages to get that extra turn. A little bit balancing stuff in this game, because like if she actually like would not be limited, she would actually go rampage against the opponents, right? So that can be really problematic right out there. Anyways, that's pretty cool for the basic attack. I would say this basic attack is going to be really, really helpful, especially in the PvP contents. Just think about it. Being able to take care of the 2 units right off the bat is going to be quite helpful to you guys. Alright, and let's look into her active skill. That's going to be the Ignis Busta, it says. Alright, it's going to attack all the enemies, a very good candidate for the cleave teams. Alright, heals the user in proportion to the critical hit damage dealt if the attack is a critical hit. So definitely if it's a critical hit damage, definitely she has to land that critical hit, and there is a critical hit, she is going to improve her own sustenance. And on top of that one, guys, she is out there to deal AoE damage, meaning the heal that she is going to receive is going to be massive, okay? So that's also one thing that you need to consider. When it comes to her ultimate strike, she can ignore the defense of the opponent if the attack hits as a critical hit. Wow. So you really need to focus in order to improve her critical hit stats. And if she really managed to land the critical hit damages and critical hits, wow, she is a beast, okay? She is really a beast. Right out there to improve her damage output against opponents, and she can be a really menace, okay? And I would say she is really meant for PvP contents, trying to get rid of those really like pesky opponents right out there, which could be really problematic in the long run. So there we go, guys. All right, with the passive skills, she can improve her own health, and she can even improve the damage against the earth elemental enemies by a very good amount. So there we go, guys. That's gonna be the Fire Alev right out there to bully her opponents and being able to deal a massive amount of damage against the opponents. All you need to make sure is that try to give her a lot of critical hit stats, okay? And finally, the Water Alev, okay? This Water Alev, you need to pay in order to get her, whereas for the Fire Alev, you need to get her from the contract, okay? You can get her from the contract, no problem at all, but this Water Alev, wow, I mean, like, you need to really pay some hard cash to get her, okay? So there we go, guys. Let's look into her basic attack. That's going to be the Reverse Slash. Attacks the selected enemy and heals the user in proportion to the damage dealt. So definitely a good skill in order to improve her own sustenance right over there. Definitely it's going to help her out, not only in the PvE but as well as the PvP contents, unless she is going to be like overpowered or let's say one shot, then that's going to be a different case. So definitely I would say like this skill is going to be more viable in the PvE contents where opponents are definitely going to have hard time in one shotting her. Okay, so let's look into her active skill right over here. Attacks all enemies, definitely a good candidate for cleaving team. Deals up to 5 times additional damage according to the increase in the enemy's maximum health. Come on, guys, this skill is a mad awesome stuff, especially when it comes to the boss fights. I'm like, think about it, and she's going to deal an AoE damage. Wow, man, wow. She's out there to really annihilate the mobs really, really super duper fast, especially if they have higher maximum health. More the health they have, the more damage they are gonna be taking. 5 times the additional damage. That's no joke, guys. Let's look into her ultimate skill, and it's also a cleaving damage, and she's going to deal similar type of damage that says deals up to 5 times the additional damage according to the increase in the enemy's maximum health. Her active skill and her ultimate skills are totally copy paste, and with these two cleaving skills, oh my god, man, you can actually be a finisher out there to finish the PvP battles, or even in the PvE contents, man. You are out there to just kill the boss as soon as possible with his minions out there, man. And when it comes to like any kind of mobs out there, she is really going to annihilate all of them. Especially in this game, the mobs can be quite crazy. Sometimes you have to fight against 16 opponents at a time. Like, what? Yeah, 16, literally 16 opponents. And in that case, these two AoE skills are definitely going to be out there to help you guys a lot, okay, in the time you need. Anyways, she can improve her own health thanks to her passive skill, and she can actually decrease the damage that is incoming from the earth elemental heroes. So there we go, guys. A very great unit indeed, but thing is that you need to pay for her. The next thing is gonna be the fire Alev. You can actually get her from the contract, and in order to just review, just like have a quick summary, I would just say right over here, the first unit is going to be the water Schneider. You can just get him for 3000 crystals, very easy to get him, and he's out there to decrease the like the action gaze of the opponents, and to give you some really good fair advantage against the opponents in the long run right out there, guys. That's really cool out there. And when you are talking about the water Krom is very easy to get right off the bat. When you start your first contract, he's out there. You can just get him, select him right away, no problem at all. And there's gonna be the fire Krom. You can even get him through the contract as well, no problem at all. But he will not be showing up in the first contract. You have to wait for the another contract, okay? And next unit is gonna be the fire Lairei. You can get her from the first contract right out there, and she's out there to deal some heavy damage to the opponents, and she's really cool. This guy called the Earth Aslan, you cannot actually get him through any kind of contract or the crystals. You really need to pay some hard cash to him. He's out there to provide that amazing action gaze boost to everyone, and even provide that attack boost to the allies as well. He's really trying to make sure that the opponents are not going to receive any extra turn out there, or let's say their turn, okay? So very effective unit indeed for the PvP contest. And Lumie out here is to deal some amazing damage to the opponents, and she can be get through the contract. You can get her from the contract, all right? And now the next unit is gonna be the Earth 9. Well, you have to pay her in order to get her, and she's out there to deal some really amazing damage. She is not only good at dealing the damage, but also to improve the sustainability of the entire team thanks to that lich buff that she provides, and also the buff that she provides to herself. And this Vanessa, water Vanessa, you can just get her with 6000 crystals right off the bat, and she is a very great healer out there in this game, being able to revive the allies, which is very rare skill to find out in this game. And next thing is gonna be the fire Alev. She is out there to deal some crazy damage, especially when you know that she can really deal some critical hit damage. Then wow, she's out there to really rip the soul of the opponents. The good thing is that like you can get her through the contract as well, whereas the last unit is gonna be the water Alev. And well, you have to pay her in order to get her, but if you do have her, she is a very great unit, especially in the battle against the boss units, and even in the PvP content. She is out there to cleave the opponents and rip their soul apart, okay, one by one. Anyways, these are the hero units that I really wanted to tell you guys, really wanted to inform you guys. If you guys have really any other like opinions or insights or your feedbacks, let me know in the comment section below. Definitely there are some other hero units as well that are very very awesome, like let's say this light Olivia, who is out there to deal some amazing damage, but the amount of like the currency, or let's say the renown, it's too crazy. All right, in order to get her. So I would say, like, man, she's just that impractical in order to get her, but she is out there to deal some really good damage, guys. That's what I really have to say to you. Okay, and there's this another unit called the Earth Lairei as well, who is out there to just annihilate the boss units out there. But well, like, C is also really hard to get in this game, and that's not really that cool. So that's what I have to say, guys. Anyways, see you guys in the next video.